Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. Today playing Boros Cloud. It's essentially a Boros midrange list, making use of the fact that Cloud is a 2-mana 2/1 that redraws, right? So we want to be playing these sort of grinded extended games, packed full of decent creatures, but the more important, I think, aspect of this list is that we have now a Johnny, alongside Elspeth and these Windcrag sieges as well, to generate a lot of like sticky boards to really make use of our equipments, right? Because kind of the worst thing to happen in an equipment list is your creature dies and you don't have creatures and your equipments are just sitting there useless. So we have a lot of ways to generate creatures, fountain ports, Windcrag siege, etc., that just keep making your opponent have to answer over and over. Very, very grindy list. Our equipment package is pretty tight. I don't think we're playing anything super low quality. Aether Spark, couple chainsaws, classic Buster Sword, Leyline Axe, and dissection tools. Nothing super cute. A good amount of removal in Seam Rips, Petrifies, a couple Get Lost, and a playset of Lightning Helix. We're on 25 lands, able to support a playset of Abandoned Air Temples and a playset of Fountain Ports, I think. And I think it all looks pretty decent. Sideboard, pretty straightforward, just a little more of the same in Voices and Enduring Innocence. An extra Lava Spur Boots, or rather the first Lava Spur Boots, to be able to, like, I really like Lava Spur Boots in the control matchups, where if your opponent's going to be using sorcery speed board wipes, right, you just grab a Lava Spur Boots, and every time you play a creature, now it's a real threat, or at least you get to continue to chip away at them. Shard Mage's Rescue, which we can grab off of Kellen in certain situations, could come up. Place a few Rest in Pieces, a few Pyroclasms, and a few Split Up for creature matchups. Excited to get into this one today. Hopefully it'll play well. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, starting out on the draw. Got to mulligan this. Okay, this looks decent. Let's put back the Kellen, I think, here. Actually, let's put back the Cloud. We don't have double white. And as far as like curving out is concerned, I think I'm happier to try to jam in a Johnny here. You may have noticed my rank has dropped significantly from the previous video. I've had a bit of ladder anxiety because like I peaked pretty high, and there are some incentives to keep a high rank, especially when the season is about to come to an end here. But at the end of the day, I realized, I need to make these videos. Like this is my priority really, and in order to make these videos with any kind of quality, I have to do some testing. So that is the result of some testing here, and honestly playing a lot more Jund Deserts in the meantime as well. I fucking love that deck. It is it's a real treat to play, I feel like. Turn 2 Bramble Familiar. I'm gonna put them on the Bant Airbending combo list. Let's just go ahead and get this out of our life. No need to let them be able to interact with that. Dock Orlock, Starting Town, Inspired Vantage. That's pretty good. I could just get Lost the Dock here. I think I'm okay taking a turn off to play this Ajani. We'll see. Could be punished for this, but I have a Get Lost next turn. Just a little better use of my mana overall if I do it this way. Reality Fulcrum with a nice little discount from Doc. See if they hit anything good. Another Reality Fulcrum seems pretty choice for them. Wow, into Appa. This is kind of the nuts, right? They get to reset their Reality Fulcrums for free. Maybe I should have handled the Doc. It's just so important for their strategy here. This is absolutely disgusting. Don't mind me, just over here with my Ajani. They hit a Badgermal Cub, Aven Interrupter. I'm just going to go ahead and scoop this one up. Moving to game 2. Let's bring in our Split Ups and Voice of Victories, I think. Not the Pyroclasms. Can go down Enduring Innocence, go down Anne Elspeth, go down a Dissection Tools. Leyline Axe could play okay, being able to trample through their big boards. I guess Pyroclasm's kind of okay. At the very least, like, if your opponent has a big combo turn, but that's all they have is a board of creatures, this can slow them down, or at least keep them off of winning immediately. Maybe not the best thing to play toward, though. Petrify's not super, super good here, except the fact that, like, Petrify is specifically decent into Earthbent stuff, and they are on Badgermaul Cubs, so maybe it's worth keeping in. Maybe drop a Kellen. Just try it like that. I think this is going to be a tough matchup overall. We'll go ahead and try this. We get to start with a Leyline Axe on the field, which is kind of nice. We don't have any good interaction, which is to say we don't have any interaction. But we do have a Voice of Victory, which could slow them down a little, or at least force them to play a bit suboptimally. Let's go for the Voice. And then maybe I just jam the Leyline Axe. Seam Rip for the Voice. Okay. Novice Inspector. Let's go Cloud for a Chainsaw. Or Novice Inspector, sack the clue. Let's go Novice Inspector, sack the clue here. We can maybe pretend we have some kind of instant speed interaction at the same time. Tapped Hollowed Fountain. That's a pretty good sign for us. I have a feeling they're not going to airbend my Inspector. They do airbend my Inspector. Well, that's okay. Not the end of the world. It can exist in the airbend zone for a little while. Cast our Cloud here. I think we want the Buster Sword. I think the threat of, like, doing the Buster Sword thing next turn is pretty good. And I'm going to go for the Novice Inspector over Birthright Boon. I'm going to go for the Novice Inspector to play around future Avian Interrupters, basically. Just get this out of the airbend zone here. Also gives me another body to equip onto. But if they let Cloud connect at this point, it should be pretty good for us. Tapped Starting Town. Dock Orlock. Just going in. So my original build of the list had some ways to answer. Oh, actually, I can just get a Chainsaw. I'm just going to grab a Chainsaw. They could have a Spell Snare here. No, yeah, let's just get a Chainsaw. Chainsaw the Doctor. Get that out of my life. Play Novice Inspector, swinging for 3. Set up pretty nicely here. Decently wide board for the Air Temple. Continuing to threaten the Buster Sword. Chainsaw is kind of cool with Voice of Victory, too. The mobilized tokens dying off every turn. It'll get pretty big pretty quickly. Hanging at the crossroads. Do they whiff? Is this them whiffing? Or they have options? Bramble Familiar. Okay. Well, I suppose we go ahead and threaten Buster Sword. I guess they just trade with Aang. So maybe it makes sense to equip the Leyline Axe first. We could equip the Leyline Axe, swing in for a pretty decent chunk, and then play Kellen. And then next turn, Buster Sword, Leyline Axe combo. Double striking. Quadruple triggers on the Buster Sword, basically. Let's try that out, I think. We're going a little shields down doing this, but it's what we got. I guess I don't have to play Kellen here. I'm not sure that it changes a whole lot. Maybe it makes sense to try to crack a clue. And we'll go for Kellen. YOLO. Two cards in hand means they just might not combo this turn. There's an Appa. So they can airbend their stuff, recast it, but without the dock or lock, this isn't guaranteed to be like a combo turn. Could just be a solid value turn. But I think we can beat that with double strike trampling cloud with a Buster Sword on. They miss on a dock. They're thinking about taking a land to be able to cast this Aang at the crossroads. They take a land. They cast the Aang. Airbender Ascension online for them. So they could hit both pieces off of this Aang at the crossroads. So there's the dock. Now with the Airbender Ascension, okay, they flicker their Appa to then put Aang at the crossroads into the airbend zone. But is this enough? I mean, they're basically tapped out, right? They can't do anything else at this point. They can't generate an Aang into the airbend zone to be able to like do stuff at instant speed here. I think what they needed to do was actually flicker Aang at the crossroads, right? With the Airbender Ascension. Split up. So I'm going to assume this is lethal. And if it's not, I get to like split up anyway with once I connect. So it'll be a 6 power double strike trample, and they have a total of 5, 9 toughness. So this is guaranteed to connect at the very least, and I'll be able to split up. I kind of think they're just dead to this, though. They go for blocks. We get to kill off Appa. More counters on the chainsaw. And then they're just dead. Okay, great. Yeah, I think they goofed a little bit. Still, I think it's going to be a tough game 3. Run it back, I suppose. Could think about bringing in Pyroclasm to maybe slow down Badgermole Cub starts. The first Pyroclasm is probably better than like the first Aether Spark, generally. I'm not sure that we're winning this kind of match with Aether Spark. Yeah, try it like that. Okay, on the draw. Pretty decent interaction here, actually. Gonna go ahead and keep this one. We have a good answer to a turn 2 Cub. And then instant speed interaction that kills Doc or Aang. I don't think I'm that good at playing this matchup, by the way. I've played it a decent number of times. This is not my bread and butter. It's a little tough figuring out exactly who you need to kill and when you need to kill them. Ramble Familiar. Maybe I just go for a Voice of Victory here. Petrify's not a great answer to the Bramble Familiar because they really just want to airbend it anyway. I could Lightning Helix it, but I think I'm going to opt to Voice of Victory here. Keeps them from being able to cast Aang or Appa on my turn. Not great mana-wise. Need to draw another white source. Shock in a Multiversal Passage. Seam Rip. Okay. Badgermole Cub. Okay. Well, we get to petrify. Well, there's a land. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the petrify here. Set them back a little bit. Not super, super good, but sets them back a little bit. I get to hold my lightning helix for a more important target. Shock into Temple Guard, and they still have 5 mana here, so they can cast an Aang at the crossroads. Wistfulness. Killing off the petrify. Interesting. Another Badgermole Cub. Well, there's a white source. Huge draw for us. I think we kind of have to split this up. Just destroy all tapped creatures here. It'll take away the threat of Bramble Familiar. It'll leave this huge Wistfulness on the field, but I think we can eventually beat a Wistfulness. What I'm more afraid of is them comboing off. Like we can find another pacifism off of Kellen to deal with the Wistfulness next turn if we need to. Petrify rather. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Either way, really, I think they get to untap with so much mana if we leave all of the Earthbent lands and Bramble Familiar. And Bramble Familiar is one of their avenues to comboing off consistently. Reality Fulcrum. Nice draw for them. Double lands. Come on. Let's go. Johnny. Let's go for the Kellen Petrify line here. Although they would get to... I could just go Cloud Chainsaw and then chump the Wistfulness. Because if I petrify the Wistfulness, they'll be able to Earth or Airbend it probably. No great lines here. Could just play a Johnny and start chumping. It's probably a little better after drawing another land. Let's go for the Chainsaw line. And then this also gives me the opportunity to maybe like block and Lightning Helix the Wistfulness, deal with it forever. But if they have an Appa here, I'm kind of toast. Take 6. Split up. Alright, I think I'm going to go for Tutor with Kellen. Grab another Petrify. And pass? Because I kind of feel like they have an Appa here. Or an Aang, perhaps. They have something. And if they have anything, I'm kind of toast. There's an Aang. We get to Airbend Cloud. Okay. And then I have to Lightning Helix Aang right here so they can't flip it and save him. But if they have another Aang for this Lightning Helix or an Appa, okay. Currently alive. Land. Aang at the crossroads is a bad sign. Appa. On the Reality Fulcrum, on the Aang. On the Wistfulness, you gotta hit me for 6, right? Yeah. Hits me for 6. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot that gets us out of this one. Sacred Foundry, a little too late. I guess I can Petrify Appa and then block with this Airbend Cloud. And then try to set up like a nice split up. Grab another chainsaw for the future. This is what I got. If they Aang at the crossroads into Aang Swift Savior, I'm toast. If they Reality Fulcrum into Aang Swift Savior, I'm toast. It's not going to take a whole lot here. They also get to attack and put a lot of little 1/1s on the field. Okay. They destroy the Petrify. Wistfulness. I haven't really seen that tech in these lists too much, but it seems pretty good, especially against me here. 0 and 1. Move on to the next match. Match 2. On the play. Ooh, okay. Decent opener. Still needs a little help in terms of double white. Maybe too many fountain ports in this list, because we need double white pretty consistently on turn 2, but Novice Inspector into Sacrifice the Clue should get us there, I think. And even if we draw like a colorless source, we have this, well, I guess we'll chainsaw this Llanowar Elves. We have the Buster Sword that we can throw on the Novice Inspector in the future. I like Chainsaw. One of my favorite equipment designs in the past few years. I don't know that it's like, I don't think it's an incredible card, but it kind of does everything you might want an equipment to do. It does something relevant when it enters, and then like it does actually matter in the late game. There are situations that come up where it's like 5+ counters and your opponent has to deal with everything you equip with, you know. Buster Sword on the field, though. Would love to draw another red source or white, I guess just white source, to be able to like clear a blocker and equip the Buster Sword here. And then we could start casting our things for free. But even if I just throw on the Buster Sword, they kind of have to go into block mode. Chump mode for a little while. Swinging with a 4/4 Novice Inspector. Promising Vein, Mossborn Hydra. Okay, we need you right now. Petrify. Am I dead to this Mossborn Hydra next turn? They block with the Llanowar Elves. Let's say they have an Ice Till. They go land, Ice Till. And then I go land, Ice Till, 2, 4. Yeah, I think I'm good to just swing. And then if they don't block, like I do just get to kill the Hydra. Okay, we'll see how this plays out. Took a bit of a gamble. Fabled Passage, Earthbender Ascension. So they get to Earthbend this and then sack it. So that's 4. This is 16, but I'm not dead to 16. Voice of Victory. Well, I guess we just petrify the Mossborn Hydra and swing here. Hydra grows, and they do have potentially main deck answers to this Petrify to be able to untap and kill me anyway in Archdruid's Charm. Very versatile card. I've been impressed by Archdruid's Charm every time my opponents cast it. Another Hydra. Go for a fetch here. Well, if they don't hit another land drop here, we have a small window maybe to deal with the Hydra. Oh no, it's a 4/4 already. Okay. Another Earthbender Ascension. Yeah, I mean, unless I draw exactly other Petrify, I kind of think this is GG. I also have Get Losts, I guess. Well, there's finally my other white source. Well, let's play to our outs, I suppose. Let's sacrifice this clue. Nope. Okay. Move it in the next one. Yeah, maybe this will be a tough matchup too. This is one of those cases where it's like, I built the deck, but is it going to be good into the current meta? Probably not. I think it has the problem of like classic mid-range problem, right? Of it does a decently powerful proactive thing, but it is a little reliant on its reactive pieces to survive to do it. And other decks are just playing better proactive things, like namely mono green landfall. The threat of just like, okay, well, we're past turn 3, and everything I play threatens to kill you next turn. Do you have an answer? Do you have an answer? Do you have an answer? Like, just playing that game over and over, we just can't keep up. And we don't kill them quickly enough to matter, I think. We'll continue to give it a shot, though. Bring in these split ups. I just want Cloud to work. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? Kill your darlings, but this is a hard one that I'm hard one to kill. Go down the Aether Spark here. Kellen seems okay. Let's cut the Kellens. Try it like that. If our removal lines up and we can hit our land drops, I think we have a chance at winning this one. I mean, this is a pretty good hand. I like the Ajani Enduring Innocence idea here. Maybe we just skip out in the Novice Inspector. Grab a chainsaw off the cloud. This will punish a slow hand from them. But the thing about this mono green list is they don't really have slow hands. They always kind of just get to curve out into whatever they want. It's a very solid list. It's a very flat list. I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter what they're casting. They're always advancing their board state, forcing you to kind of fall behind pretty quickly, consistently, I think. Swinging in, well, we'll definitely trade this here. I'm not some kind of silly head. Let's go for the Enduring Innocence here, I think. I could also Seam Rip the Badgermole Cub to slow them down a little bit. And Chainsaw the Forest. Maybe that's not that important. Could just play a Johnny. And then maybe that opens up my options next turn, maybe. I guess we'll go for the Enduring Innocence, because then next turn I could go like Inspector Chainsaw. PI. Escape Tunnel. Earthbender Ascension. They're doing the thing. Abandon Air Temple. Okay, well, let's get a Johnny on the field here then. And then we can Seam Rip the Badgermole Cub to slow them down just a little bit. just a little bit here. No reason to swing, really. They just do a tap and sack. I guess it could force them to do that, but not really. It's probably just better to save it as a blocker. Saz's Chocobo. More fetches. Huge Chocobo. Gonna be out of chainsaw range here pretty soon. Swinging in for 1. I don't really want them to have the extra landfall trigger here. Okay, they're going to be able to hurt Johnny a little bit, but not kill him, I think. They get 2 land drops. Triggers onto Earthbender Ascension. Another fetch. They can put him to 1, which is fine. Probably our best draw now is just like a Seam Rip to deal with the Chocobo. Buster Sword. I could also slap a Buster Sword onto Enduring Innocence. Kind of force them to block. Maybe they don't even block it, but it's not bad. We start to gain a little bit of life here as well. Might as well draw first off of a Johnny. Lightning Helix, okay. Swinging for 5. Start gaining some advantages here. I guess we just chainsaw the Earthbent land. Just leave them 1 creature to deal with, or 1 creature to utilize next turn. More counters on Saz's Chocobo. I guess if they have like a Might Form Harmonizer here, I'm probably dead. Might Form Harmonizer plus land. I'd kind of be surprised if they go for a Johnny here. No, they do go for a Johnny. Okay. R.I.P. It feels like they have all lands in hand, and we're kind of doing okay. Feels like we're doing maybe okay. Let's go for a Novice Inspector first. Hit a redraw. Open up our options for Buster Sword. And then we're probably just like playing a Voice of Victory and holding up Lightning Helix. I don't quite have a lethal. Getting kind of close. Might as well attack with the 1/1s. I don't think they're going to make much of a difference in terms of blocks. Abandon Air Temple. I guess let's put the Voice of Victory on the field. That way, if we have to, we can crack a clue to try to redraw into a Get Lost. Like if circumstances become really dire. Pass it back to you. We're at a pretty nice life total, but if they do just pop a Might Form Harmonizer here, I'm dead. I still won't do it. Hitting their land drops, but I think my board is too wide at this point. I can activate Abandon Air Temple, and I have Lightning Helix to the face. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Activate the temple. Just making sure I can do both of these. I think so. Yeah, okay. And Lightning Helix their face. I should have, okay, obviously I should have activated the temple after attacking with the Voice of Victory, but I don't think it's gonna matter here. All right, nice. Got a nice game win here. We've managed to win a couple games. It's kind of about going the distance, though. Can we win these full matches? Once we get going, the engine is pretty solid. And I've always kind of been impressed with Buster Sword. It's classically slow, but if your opponent doesn't have an immediate response to it, it really can snowball the game. On to game 3. Gonna keep it the same, I think. Pyroclasm is okay sometimes here. Maybe it's worth trying. Can slow down certain starts. But it's a pretty bad top deck. Maybe we want the Leyline Axe. Yeah, let's keep it as is. On the draw, decent hand. We have a Petrify for an Earthbent land. Turn 1 Novice Inspector. Still kind of getting got by these Fountain Ports as far as like access to our colors goes. We have a window to chainsaw this next turn. Maybe I'm just supposed to block that. Okay, here's our window to chainsaw this. That's pretty huge, actually. Kind of huge with it. I think that kind of makes or breaks this game, honestly. Drawing that plains right there. Earthbender Ascension. So we get to petrify this Promising Vein, which is kind of annoying for them, I think. I think it's a little annoying for them. They won't be able to sacrifice it. They won't be able to use the mana. It'll just kind of sit there forever, hopefully. Thaz's Chocobo. Forest. Another Chainsaw for another Chocobo. Earthbender Ascension. Onto a Forest. Let's take the window while we have it. Chainsaw off this Chocobo. And we have enough mana to crack a clue. That's nice. Chainsaw's revving up. Swinging for a hefty 2. And we're feeling kind of good. I mean, if they hit me with like a Sapling Nursery fetch, I am squarely out of the game, but we've answered their early stuff. Ice Till. No fetch in the graveyard. Forest. Trying to dig into one, or mill into one here. Misses. Second land. Forest. Okay, not the worst spot for us to be in. Mills into a Bossing Say. That's pretty good for them. Crack our clue. Another Ajani. Inspiring Vantage. We could kill off the forest here. They'd get a decent amount of triggers. Guess I just have to get the Enduring Innocence on the field. Could also put a Chainsaw on one of my inspectors. Let's go for the Enduring Innocence. Kind of hoping to draw into it like a split up at this point. Yeah, I mean, they still got pretty scary boards. If they mill into a fetch too, it just becomes that much scarier. Mill into an Ice Till, huge. 6/6 trample. You're making an 8/8. They rev up another forest. Swing in. I guess my plan here now is maybe to just like equip Chainsaw to my Enduring Innocence and try to fight them back on life total, denying as many land drops as I can in the process. Petrify. So I can petrify this big forest. That's pretty good. Trade with the Saz's Chocobo. Okay, probably decent for them long term here. Rev up the chainsaws. Petrify Big Forest. Not sure that it'll be enough though. This ice still sticking around for as long as it has is just a lot of inevitability. Sapling Nursery. Okay. Wouldn't mind seeing them swing with the ice till here. They swing with the ice till here. Let's go for a chump. Rev up the chainsaws. Land, so we can go... We don't have all the mana to go Ajani, kill an Ice Till, and play another Ajani, but we can go Ajani, kill an Ice Till, and then crack a clue. I guess I should crack a clue now. Or I could equip a chainsaw. Kill the Ice Till. If I just equip a chainsaw here, I can crack back for a pretty decent chunk. Do they kill me if they hit any land? No. It's a pretty decent chunk. Hit him for 6. Down to 10. Fabled Passage is huge for them. Now we have to draw a split up to be able to survive, but even then, I'm not sure that we do. Yeah, we kind of fought. We fought through a little bit. But once again, it's just this problem of inevitability. This is a messed up Magic card. I mean, typically this kind of card, if you think about it, okay, 4 mana, right? 4 mana. Let's say they cast it on turn 4 and have a Fabled Passage. 4 mana for 2, 3, 4 reach guys. Baseline, that's pretty decent, right? It's decent. Let's not mess. With the inevitability of, like, oh, also, it just sticks around forever and continues to make Tree Folk. Oh, and also the protection element. It's all a little messed up. They're putting me to 1. Oh, no, they're putting me to dead. Oh, okay. GG. Little messed up. Anyway, 0-2. Not really the meta for this style of deck. I just wanted to give it another try. Surely, into the right matchup, it looks pretty good. And we went to game 3 in both of those matches. Let's keep going. On the play. Okay, once again, Fountain Port kind of messing with me a little, but that's okay. We have a Novice Inspector to sack a clue on turn 2. We could also rip Birthright Boon. Not the best card in the world, I think, but could look oppressive as a late game draw if we're able to grind out the early stages of the match. Let's go ahead. Opponent has turn 1 Inspector. Let's just plan to sack the clue. Gotta hit our land drops here. Seam Rip? On my Novice Inspector? Okay. I don't care. Goodbye, my friend. I've been casting you in Standard for millennia now. Nurturing Pixie. Is this that like mono white Springleaf Drum list? That list has looked very good. I've played it against it a few times lately. Mono white or red white. Well, we missed our land drop, which is not exactly where we want to be. Grab a chainsaw. We have a lot of cards to grind, but missing our land drop there, not being able to start deploying our sieges, Ajani, etc. Gonna be a bit of a tough one, maybe. Land. I think I'm just gonna take this window to go for a Windcrag Siege. They might have a Get Lost for it, but they might not. And this is the kind of thing, if we get it down early enough, could take over the game. There's a Get Lost. But we do have another one. Cracks a clue. Go for it again. See if they have another one. Now our best draw next turn is land to be able to support double spell here. Slow down their stuff. Start trying to get online with our siege, gain a little life back. 5 mana for them. Voice of Victory. Okay. Now Office Inspector. Come on, land. Land. Huge, dude. So we get to chainsaw the Voice of Victory. And then it might honestly be worth just giving up a 1/1 here. Sunpearl Kieran to try to pick up the voice. I guess we just Lightning Helix it. Yeah, I feel good about that. Rev up the chainsaw. Do we swing for 1, gain 1, and rev up the chainsaw? I think it's okay. It's the same as blocking, I suppose. So maybe we just hold. We also have a dissection tools in hand now. Just a big 4/4 lifelink. Okay. Chump the sanctuary. Rev up the chainsaw. A Johnny. Maybe we go a Johnny and crack a map. Crack a map seems like a decent place to start. Maybe we double map and try to make this a 3/3 lifelinker and then hold up Get Lost. Voice of Victory. Let's leave that on top here. Then put it in the graveyard. Do we just Get Lost the Sanctuary now? No, I think I'd rather Get Lost on their turn. To keep them off of maps before combat. Lightning Helix them. Get Lost the Sanctuary here, and then I think next turn we kind of have to go for, like, equip our lifelinker with the chainsaw. To try to fight back on life total. We could also maybe think about play a dissection. If we hit our land drop, play a dissection tools, and then sacrifice the new goblin to make a 5/5 lifelinker to swing with. They're going for the maps. Springleaf Drum. Gosh, I really want to know what's in their hand. Seam Rip. On the chainsaw. Okay. Make a goblin. There's a land. Yeah, let's go for the dissection tools play here. Buster Sword. RIP. Let's do one of these numbers. Crack back for 6. Go up to 9. Now we're feeling kind of okay. 5/5 lifelinker on the field. With an abandoned air temple. We're grinding. We have a lot more material than them. It's just about surviving. Like potential material. They crack back. Down to 1. Okay. Land. And I get to fire up an abandoned air temple to hit them back with. Or I could just a Johnny the Nurturing Pixie. They have another pixie. Novice Inspector. Seam Rip on my big goblin, probably. Okay. So let's do the math here real quick. I sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice a goblin. Equip dissection tools. That's only 3. Sorry, that's only 4 lifelink. Go up to 5. I kill off the nurturing pixie. And they hit me back for 6. Four. Is there anything I can grab off of Kellen here? Maybe I just like equip the dissection tools here. Swing in. Play a Johnny. Swing in. And then move the dissection tools back to the lifelinking goblin? No, that's not going to be enough. Because they can just hit me for 4 in the air. Man, it was close, though. Man, it was so close. Play that tapped. This is no batter skull. If this gave vigilance, I think it'd be a little more playable. Okay, and they hit an abandoned air temple. All right, GG. GG. Let's bring in the split ups. I think we want the pyroclasms. I think we want the enduring innocences. It's gonna be a grindy one. Let's go down. Probably just go down the petrifies. Do we want the voices? Meh. We want a Johnny. Go down the Kellens. Go down the Aether Spark. Aether Spark has its moments, but it's a very awkward, very, very awkward card. We'll probably go down a land. Let's go down a Fountain Port. Try like that. On the play. Okay. Looks okay. Mana's a little slow, but if we hit our 3rd land and stick a Windcrag Siege, we could be okay. Seam Rip. I think we Springleaf. I think we Seam Rip the Springleaf Drum for sure. If you've seen how these lists play out, they're able to utilize this so effectively to double spell into like Sage of the Skies and double spell their Cosmograin Zeniths really consistently. But I feel pretty good about our curve out here. Elspeth in hand. Another drum. That's fine. Inspector. Survivor. Yeah, we don't really care about that. Another siege. Okay, well. We'll see if these take off. Pass it back to you. If they don't immediately answer these, like if they struggle to find Get Lost or Cathar Commando, I suppose, they really can take over the game. RIP. Now I just want to hit my land drops. Be able to cast this Elspeth. We don't really have any bad draws at this point, I feel like. Maybe just like more clunkers would be bad. Kill the Survivor here. There's a land. Nice. I think they missed a land drop. Is that right? Let's go ahead and seam rip this Springleaf Drum then. Slow them down that much more. There's a land, but now they can't probably double spell critically. Swings for 1. Probably just gonna sack their, crack their clue this turn. Enduring Innocence. Pretty nice draw for us. Nice little redraw off of the Windcrag Siege every turn now. Even Interrupter. Okay. Pretty good. Suki. Also pretty good. Yeah, they're putting on the pressure now. Make another Goblin. Inspiring Vantage. Play our Enduring Innocence here. Pass it back to ya. We have Elspeth next turn to contest the airspace. 4 mana, Seam Rip. Onto a Goblin. Okay. Into Sage of the Skies. Into Seam Rip. Onto a Goblin. Okay. Not a huge deal. Swinging out. I guess we just trade here. Let's go ahead and crack this clue first, see what we draw. Johnny. Nice. Alternatively, we give our creatures like +1/+1 in flying next turn. Be able to block the Aven Interrupter. Don't think it super matters what we do here. They're going to be able to get a 1/1 either way. I guess we just go ahead and trade. And I actually think I'm going to play the Elspeth and just start making 1/1s. Get Lost. Well, maybe I play the Johnny and hold up Get Lost then. I can kill off the Aven Interrupter. Elspeth is probably better because I'll make more tokens next turn. And I can just start to clog up the ground space. Let's say they hit like Seam Rip into Cosmic Grand Zenith. Am I dead to that? I'll go to 8 if I attack. And then I'll have 2 blockers. I guess I'm not dead to that. Swing it for 1 here. Go to 8. Get the Elspeth on the field. Start making some soldiers. I'm also not dead to, like, kill both my soldiers, which is kind of nice. Sunpearl Kieran. Pick up a Seam Rip. Trigger their Suki. Pretty big board here. Seam Rip a soldier. Now what? Tight position for us here. Could use a Pyroclasm. That'd probably just be the cleanest answer, or a split up or something. Go to 3. We're gonna have some lifelinking goblins here, though. Obs Inspector. Okay. Little redraw. Pyroclasm. Pyroclasm is probably the play. Question is, do we try to gain a little extra life? Probably not. Let's just swing in with the goblins, Pyroclasm, and then we can Ajani their Suki and make tokens off of Elspeth. I can't really envision a world in which they win through that. Pass back to you. And then we're just recouping so much life off of the siege now. All right, GG. Well, we've made it to game 3 in all 3 matches. Let's see if we can close this one out. I think our plan was pretty sound. Try it again. All right, game 3 on the draw. The mana is good, so we're going to keep it. We have some early plays, but no interaction. We haven't really seen Cloud pop off too much, but the rest of the shell seems okay. Could be Cloud's chance to shine here. Don't think of him as like a big flashy card, right? Just think of him as Elvish Visionary. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's go for an Inspiring Vantage here. Just contest their Novice Inspector on the ground a little. Inspector v Inspector. Halia. I love me some Halia. Into another Inspector. Nice. Good little redraw. This line means we can't both turn 2 Cloud and turn 3 Siege, but we can turn 2 Cloud, grab a Chainsaw. Well, now we can. Let's grab a Chainsaw here. Pretty nice flexible option for us. Pass it back. Kills Halia, importantly. A lot of the strength of this like white mid-range list is the fact that a lot of their creatures do die to Pyroclasm, but most of their important creatures have 3 toughness or more. Sort of, I think, an intentional deck building design. They're holding up 2 mana here. Let's just get the siege going. We've seen that they have answers to it, but let's force them to have an answer here. And I think it's better to probably generally, unless we're against like mono green or whatever, it's better to play the Buster Sword the same turn that you plan to equip it. So let's go like abandon Air Temple next turn and then try to go for a Buster Sword play if we have a window. Sunpearl Kieran. Redraws off the clue. We don't have an answer to a Cosmic Rain Zenith. If they go for that, we're kind of toast right now, outside of drawing into a split up. They swing in, which is probably a good sign. I'm anticipating this is a split up angle, maybe. Nurturing Pixie. Picks up the Inspector. Start making some 1/1s. Mountain. Well, Mountain means in the grand scheme we get to Chainsaw this turn and crack a clue. I think that's pretty decent. Let's just Chainsaw the Nurturing Pixie here. Rev up the Chainsaw. Let's hold back on this this goblin, I think. No need to send him into the chopper. Buster Sword might be a good option, though, next turn. Equip it onto a lifelinking hasty goblin. They might not be able to block and kill it, which means they'll have to find an answer to it on a future turn. Or trade in like a Halia or something. Still have all three split ups in the deck. Chipping away for 2 in the air. Cathar Commando, gonna deal with my Windcrag Siege here. Maybe? Yes. Rev up the chainsaw, okay. Veteran Survivor, fine. This we can handle. Crack the clue. Cloud. Johnny. Maybe we just go Cloud to Johnny. Play an Air Temple, because we can kill off a Sun Pearl Kieran and grab another chainsaw for the future. If I just go Buster Sword, equip and swing, they're like, okay, chump, and then we're just kind of like at the same spot. But if I go Cloud to Johnny, I think they might find that a little bit annoying. Oh, I can't go Cloud to Johnny, because that would require quadruple white. It's okay. Happy little accident. Suki. Suki's pretty good here. Decent enough, at least, to be annoying. But actually, my dissection tools is looking kind of good on this board, too. I think we want to leave a Johnny alive. Chainsaw revving up. Sunbillow Verge. Let's go for the dissection tools. We don't really have any like cute creatures to manifest under here. Go for a Fountain Port. Make a 1/1, and then next turn we can kind of do a lot. Namely, like play Cloud and play and equip a Buster Sword onto this 4/4 Death Touch Lifelinker. A Demi. Big enough to swing into a Johnny through my face down card if they want. Also, I guess they get to give it flying. Kind of an underrated card, I think. I like this card. Not necessarily as like a 2 of or 3 of. Well, maybe a 2 of. 1 to 2, I think, in these kinds of lists. It tends to play okay. They're getting a lot of Suki value. This looks to be more of an aggro oriented version of this deck list. Most of the lists I've been seeing are like mid-rangey with Starfield Shepherds and Cosmic Grand Zeniths. I'm sure they're on the Zeniths, but they're also maybe sometimes in red. Activate a Demi, kill a Johnny. But you know what? We're still kind of looking okay. We're kind of demanding an answer to this Cloud very shortly, or more specifically, this dissection tool situation. They have an Air Temple with a pretty wide board, but if I soup up this face down card, it becomes a 7/6, which means they have to block with a lot to kill it. And if they just chump, I'm also kind of winning that. So let's go ahead, play and equip this Buster Sword. And then we get to find a Leyline Axe off of Cloud to be able to really threaten some big damage next turn. I would assume they're just going to chump here. Seems unlikely that they'll give up more than they have to. They go for the triple block? They're giving up Suki also. There's no need to do that. Oh, they have a Demi. Okay, well, they give up a Demi. Hey, you know what? Fair enough. I don't mind seeing a Demi go, to be honest. It makes Split Up alive again. Chainsaw's Revan. Go for a Cloud here. Let's grab our Leyline Axe. And then we can wait on equipping the dissection tools, I think. Because if I like prematurely equip the dissection tools and they have a seam rip, then I'm kind of out any options as far as equipping creatures and attacking goes next turn. They swing in. All right. Maybe they have the split up now? Maybe they're not even on split up? I don't really know. Split up probably does win them the game here. Aaliyah. Fine. Pretty expensive to play and equip this axe. 2 mana available for them. Novice Inspector. But I can equip the Chainsaw and the Buster Sword and the Dissection Tools for a big life-linking Cloud. And they might be able to kill me on the backswing, though. One last card. Yera and Oski. Wow. Okay. Elspeth. Kind of a tricky turn here, huh? Play a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I can go Elspeth, make some tokens to block with. Well, if I just go Elspeth and give my Cloud flying. No, I think it's like Elspeth, equip the dissection tools, equip the chainsaw, make some chumperoonies. I'll go to a cool 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll go to a cool 23, and they can swing back for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 17. Yeah, not lethal. Especially with my couple of chumpers. Land Elspeth. Make some chumpers. Equip Cloud. Equip Cloud. They can trade with my Cloud here, but... Oh, 2 counters on the chainsaw. What's that about? Oh, because of Cloud. Oh. They can trade with my Cloud here, but I don't know that they can trade forever. They just decide to chump. Interesting. More counters on the chainsaw because of Cloud. And pass it back. And then next turn I can give him Double Strike and Trample. I mean, if they don't have any answers to this, I don't think they can beat Double Strike, Trampling, Cloud with a chainsaw, which is fun. I mean, this is what Magic is all about, right? Isn't this what Magic is all about? They swing out. All right, well, make them have a split up, I guess. Or some kind of answer. I guess maybe I have to leave a 1/1. How much is this? I have to leave a 1/1 to be able to swing with if they have an answer to the Cloud, right? 8. 16. Yeah, we can take 16. Plus they fire up this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think that's lethal. 2. Counters on the chainsaw. And they die to the Leyline Axe. Excellent, gang. Excellent. Okay. Well, one and two, one and two, yeah, 1 and 2. I don't have time to play another one, unfortunately, but at least we got to see Cloud do the thing in a most spectacular fashion here, might I add. Pretty fun deck. Not the perfect list for the meta right now. You know, if we talk about what Standard looked like 5 years ago, I think this sort of strategy could be viable. But the proactive stuff is just so far and away better than reactive, slower mid-range shells like this. I think that's part of why the Jund Deserts is having a lot more success than my previous like Sultai Deserts lists, is because it can just play the game where it like, okay, well, if you don't actually respond to anything that I'm doing, I'm just going to eventually kill you, right? With all the burn that we're jam-packed with. Sultai Deserts didn't have that angle. It was just trying to consistently win on board, and that's just not enough because boards look like 6-3-4 green tree folk right now. You know what I mean? It's just like you can't consistently answer that because the threat diversity is too high, and we don't have good enough answers to the kinds of threats in the format. Now, all of this to say, reprint Thoughtseize. I want a Thoughtseize standard back. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I think Thoughtseize would reel in like the kinds of strategies that mono green Landfall is able to employ. Just these sort of greedy all in, like let's just do the biggest thing we can and make them have it. Before that, I don't know. I'm kind of pro Thoughtseize generally. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the list. If you're a Cloud believer or a Cloud hater, I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it's fun, but once again, I've stated all the problems that I think it has. So fun run. Appreciate you watching. Hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.